Let's reconvene our meeting, and we will start on Agenda 24.
Agenda item 24 is a contract with the State of Florida for Health, Department of Health for operation of the Florida Department of Health. And this is for $6.2 million, and this maintains the Environmental Health Services Program, Communicable Disease Control Program, Primary Care Services, and School Nurse Program.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Justice, second by Commissioner Gerard.
And there we go.
Okay, passes unanimously by the 5 of us present. Agenda item 25.
This is the first option of a renewal for an amendment number 1 to the agreement with Baycare Health Systems. This is for hospital services for the healthcare for homeless and the Pinellas County Health Program.
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Long, second by Commissioner Gerard. Excuse me.
Bless you, bless you.
Okay, passes 6-0. Agenda item 26.
This is an expansion of our Acela Civic platform for land management software. This will include the consumer protection and animal services.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Long, second by Commissioner Welch. I just want to note for the record that I understand why we're doing all of this, but way back in April of 2017, this started as a $2.5 million contract. And so I just always get worried when we add, but somewhere we need to be subtracting from other software programs so that our budget starts to become more neutral.
Commissioner Seal? Respectfully, though, I mean, as I understand it, we're talking about technology here, are we not?
I am, but I'm saying, I
Well-
hope that this technology replaces another contract and reduction in that.
Correct. The issue I would just want to go on the record with is that in the world where technology is constantly changing, I'm not sure we ever start subtracting on the technology side because it's constant updates, right?
We certainly can provide the commission an update to show what systems are taken out of service as a result of the implementation of Acela. And that would probably put it in better context for you.
That might be helpful.
Okay, voting. Okay, unanimous approval, agenda item 27.
The construction agreement with CSX Transportation for the crossing service replacement at 54th Avenue.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Egger, second by Commissioner Long. Okay, passes unanimously. Agenda item 28.
This is approval of a contract to sale and purchase at a price of $6,700. This is for a parcel at the landings of Tarpon Springs. This is a cleanup, and we want to sell this property because it has no value to us, but in fact, there was a neighbor that actually built on it. But we don't have a use for it, and so we've agreed to the sale of the purchase.
Move approval. Second.
A motion by Commissioner Long, a second by Commissioner Gerard. The only thing that I'll say is it is about 1/4 of an acre, and I'm going to vote against it because I think that the price is too low for that waterfront use. And I understand we have no use for it and it's been built upon, but, so, anyway, voting cards, please.
Question, Madam Chair.
Yes.
So quickly, Barry, how did that happen? I know you weren't
Andrew.
here, but
Andrew, if you want to come forward, he can give you the entire history and also talk to the way in which he obtained an appraisal.
Good afternoon, Andrew Pupke, Administrative Services. The county obtained the property by quitclaim deed back in 1902, and there has been no use of it since that time by the county. It is platted or designated as right-of-way, however, the county has never used it as right-of-way. And in this particular case, since it was quitclaim to us, we own it in fee, so it's not a vacation, it would be an outright sale. My understanding, based upon a review of the records, is that in 2003, there was a building permit that was issued for a high and dry portion of this marina. It was built on or encroached on the property that the county owns in fee simple, this 40-foot wide piece of property. Fast forward to the current time, the owner of the marina and restaurant is looking to do some additional development, build a tiki hut, in fact. And at this point in time, it came to be known that they had encroached upon our property. So their desire is to continue on with this development and for us to sell the property, the county to sell the property to the adjacent property owner.
we've got the voting card up, so I can't navigate.
Can you take that down? Thank you.
So who issued the building permit?
The county issued the building permit, sir. So this is the entirety of the property, and what we're referring to in the dashed yellow line is what we're talking about related to the parent property. And that would be the property that surrounds ours. The property that is the rectangle in red is our property. So we are surrounded by the owner of the other property, both on the east side as well as on the west side. And by error, this building was permitted and built, encroached upon our property. But regardless of that, had that not been the case and they wanted to develop this property, they would have come to us for a request to purchase it. So they had provided us, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yep. Just, was that a gap in the technology that didn't give us a flag that,
I can't say for certain, but it's probably because of the title search, because it went back so far to 1902, there may not have been a full title search done that would have indicated the ownership of the property that far back.
okay,
So the property owner provided us with an appraisal. We took a look at that and we made a decision, even though the value was relatively small in their appraisal at $3,000, that we wanted to do our own appraisal just to confirm the value as it was. So we did similar, or I should say the same methodology was employed for both appraisals, which is a sales comparison, and based upon our appraisal at $6,700, that's what we're recommending to the board.
And that yellow marker there is, the yellow dotted line is the entire property. It's their same one property owner, right?
That is one property owner, yes, Commissioner.
Yeah, I understand your comment, Commissioner, but I think we kind of helped put us into this position. I'm comfortable with the reconciliation, I think, you know, for that, to that $6,700. Certainly if you went out on the market for 10,000 square feet of land and shaped differently and independent of anything else, probably yield more than $15,000. So it just really depends on how it's structured, where it is, and how we got to that, so.
And I think the key is that it is the size and shape of the property. It is not developable by us, which then lends to the value of the property.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The motion and second, I'm sorry, I closed it for.
thank you.
Motion was made by Commissioner Long and seconded by Commissioner Gerard.
Thank you.
I'm writing it down now. Oh. Oh. Okay, it passes, 6-1. All right, agenda item 29.
This is a contract for sale and purchase with Corporation to Develop Communities of Tampa for the sale of five parcels located in the Dansville neighborhood. Purchase price is $90,000.
Move approval.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Long, second by Commissioner Gerard. Could I ask a question? Let me pull up the map. This is actually a property I was talking about the other day with Bruce, and I don't know what we did with the lot south of here. It has nothing to do with this purchase, it's just that I'm curious about.
Andrew, do you know?
We can answer it later.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready for the voting cards. Okay, very good. Thank you. It passes unanimously. Moving on to agenda item 30.
This is a contract for sale and purchase with Habitat of Humanity of Pinellas and West Pasco counties. This is also 6 parcels located in the Dansville neighborhood.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Gerard, and a second by Commissioner Long. Okay, passes unanimously. Moving on to agenda item 31.
This is a First Amendment to an agreement with Manhattan Construction of Florida, Inc. For the design-build professional services for the St. Petersburg Justice Center Court Consolidation Project.
Question.
then
real
we'll-
quick.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Just a quick
Sure.
question. How many square feet are we talking here in this renovation? Do we know? I mean, are we,
I'll ask Andrew to come up and answer that.
I don't have the specific square feet, Commissioner, but happy to give those to you after the meeting. These are floors 2, 3, and 4. They're all the same floor plate.
how big is the building?
It's a total of 5 floors with a parking garage.
We don't know
underneath.
the square footage of the building.
Not off the top of my head, but I will get that for you.
So what we're doing here is just gutting completely and rebuilding.
Not entire gutting, but it's interior renovation of those floors. We're going to be upgrading the ADA in the bathrooms as well as in the courtrooms. New lighting, new finishes, fire alarm system, fire sprinkler system to come up to current code, and then a 3rd elevator, the installation of a 3rd elevator.
So we don't know the per square foot price, we don't know the square footage. It's hard to know. $11 million sounds like a lot of money. And again, for 10,000 square feet, it's way too much money. For 30,000 feet, it's still a lot of money, you know? So I have no idea.
Sure.
So I'm not comfortable supporting it, but just because I don't know that detail, I apologize. I should have asked that the other day when we met, but hadn't gotten to it yet.
Well, it certainly is needed, and it's about time.
I don't disagree with that, but don't have any clue. Thank you.
Also, this does start to empty out the 501 building, so at some point I'd like to have a status report on that. You know, what's vacant, what's, you know, what the future of that building is. So, because I know we have the Tampa Bay Innovation Center in there now temporarily until their new building is.
Commissioner, if we can address that through our space study, so we're beginning to initiate the space study. We have an RFP out for a consultant to assist us with that. Part of that reviews would look at the 501 building and all the other facilities that we have.
So, Madam Chairman, I have a question, please, if you're all. I'm curious because it looks, tell me if I'm wrong, Andrew, they're going to move everything that's currently in the courts buildings now over to the 501 building while the renovation is
They're gonna
going
empty out
on?
the 501 building.
No,
Did I
wish
get
that-
that backwards?
Yeah, well, it's a 2-step process, so I apologize that the Chief Judge was not able to stay with us because they've been very supportive of the project all along, and what they're intending to do for our benefit of the project is to empty out 1 floor at a time. So floor 2, they'll empty out and let us do the renovation and that work, and they're going to manage to do that by coordinating different locations other than the 501 building, so they won't move anybody into the 501 building during that time. They're going to do this with other flex space that they have available to them within the 545 courthouse or otherwise. So that's going to be a great benefit to get the work accomplished in a more efficient manner, so we're not working around the judges or their JAs or the public. We'll have the entire floor to do all the renovation work, and then we'll turn over a floor at a time as the work is completed.
It's just complicated the way it's written here. got that totally backwards, but thank you for explaining it.
But the other, to Commissioner Seal's point, part of the courts consolidation project is to empty out the courts functions from the 501 building between the project at the CJC and the project at St. Petersburg.
Thank you.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Yes, I'm
Just-
sorry, Commissioner Justice.
Sorry, on the attachment, on page 12 of 30 on the attachment,
The first
doesn't give you
one?
the square footage,
Thank you.
but it does give you like the cost per square foot for each of the demolition, concrete, doors, et cetera, so.
Where is that, Charlie?
That's First Amendment Exhibit N, and then page 12 is where I found the cost breakdown, at least for some of it. For the Manhattan construction.
Good find. Anybody have any questions after taking a
Okay,
look
that
at
was, yeah, $285 a square foot.
Okay,
Thank you, thank you.
certainly.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Welch, second by Commissioner Gerard. Okay, that has unanimous approval. And agenda item, sitting as the Safety and Emergency Services, agenda item 32.
This is the First Amendment to a letter of agreement between the Pinellas County Commissioners and VA Sunstar on Logistic Care Solutions. This amendment increases the rate of reimbursement to the current Medicare allowable rate for non-emergency ambulance transportation services.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gerard, second by Commissioner Welch. The only thing I would note, and it was interesting, this actually, of course, does increase our revenue, but we still have a net loss for this particular service of about $400,000. So I don't know if there's any other way to look at this, or whether we are in a place there's nothing to do about. I don't have to answer it this time, but
Is this this isn't priority dispatch, is it?
This is not priority dispatch, but Jim's coming up, he can address it.
Good afternoon, Jim Fogerty, Director of Safety and Emergency Services. This contract is for Logistic Care, which manages the non-emergency as well as some of the emergency reimbursement claims for some of the managed care for Medicaid. When we first struck the contract with Logistic Care, the then current rate was what was adopted. This just adjusts that rate to what exists today. In the world of the loss that you mentioned, that has to do with a lot of the non-emergency, not just Logistic Care, some of the transports that we make that are not billable, not reimbursable, or some of the constraints some of the managed care organizations put on us that force us to accept their allowable rate.
and this is not just the only, for instance, in this case, because I know that there's other managed care contracts that the state moved towards that probably helped put us in this situation.
That's correct. The way the system is designed here locally, we've got one ambulance service. Other systems have several ambulance services, and they always have the option to choose one over the other. In our county, there's only one ambulance service for both emergency and non-emergency. In some cases, there are areas that are not well served in other communities because of that adverse selection associated with the reimbursement strategies. That's not the case in Pinellas County.
All right, we have a motion, thank you, by Commissioner Gerard and a second by Commissioner Welch. Okay, that passes unanimously. Solid waste, agenda item 33.
This is change order number 1 to the contract with Keystone Excavators for the North County Satellite project.
This is for the drainage outfall.
This is for the
pipes.
drainage outfall, yeah, what we
That we-
discussed last week.
took up at a previous meeting, so last time. Any questions? Have a motion?
Move approval. Second.
Wow.
Motion by Commissioner Gerard, second by Commissioner Long. Commissioner Long?
Sorry.
Okay, passes unanimously. Utilities, agenda item 34.
This is a change order for a cancellation of a contract with KAT Construction Materials for biosolids valve piping modification project. In essence, they thought they could repair and coat a sludge gas holding tank and install a new pump mixing system. And when they got into it, they could not. And so they now need to remove the tank. And so we need to cancel this contract. It'll be a complete replacement.
So moved.
Second. So what is, I have a question. What's the timetable for a new tank, do we know?
And the expense.
Here comes Megan.
Hi, good afternoon, Megan Ross, Director of Utilities. So to answer your question about timetable, at this time, we don't have a firm timeline. We're gonna go back to the drawing board and kind of look at what technologies and what different options are out there for the tank, if we would replace in kind with necessary upgrades, or look at potentially other vendors, other tanks available, and put together more of a firm timeline for that. So we don't have anything right now as far as just those firm estimates. And second question was about cost. It will likely, just off the top of my head, without having an estimate in place, likely cost a bit more than what we see here. It's hard to say exactly without, specifying the materials and different things for it. So, but we will, evaluate different options, and we'll bring that forward when we have the information.
And what's
Yeah.
the life left on the one that could be?
Well, fortunately, one of the things we did determine with this project was, this tank typically is not taken offline. It's very hard to access, so part of this was taking the tank offline, cleaning, dewatering, degrading the tank, and getting into the tank to inspect it. A lot of the improvements had to do with the interior of the tank. So they were able to confirm that there is some life left on this tank, and that, we're in pretty good shape for the near future. So we have no immediate concerns with the stability of the tank. Largely, it was due to the constructability of getting access to the tank. There's a floating roof on this particular tank. It holds methane gas. So getting the necessary equipment in the tank involved removing the top of that roof off and getting access, which just would cause more structural instability than it was worth given the current condition of the tank. So that's why it was decided to abandon this project at this point in time.
I think Commissioner Welch would like to inspect the tank when we go forward.
Yeah, get you suited up, can find space entry and certified.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Megan. Voting cards, please. Okay, passes unanimously. Moving on to County Attorney, agenda item 35.
Under 35, I'm seeking your authorization to file suit in the cases referenced on your agenda. This is an injunction action related to a code enforcement matter.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gerard, second by Commissioner Long. Okay, that passes unanimously.
Under item 36, this is similarly a request to authorize litigation in the case that is referenced on your agenda, another injunction related to a code enforcement matter.
Move approval.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Gerard, second by Commissioner Long. For agenda item 36. Passes unanimously. Agenda item 37.
Under 37, I'm requesting that the board approve the staff's recommendation on the settlement that is outlined in the confidential memorandum.
Move approval. Second.
Jinx. I'll give the credit to Commissioner Gerard for the motion and Commissioner Long for the second. Passes unanimously. Agenda item 38.
Item 38, I'm also asking that you approve staff's recommendation on the proposed settlement as outlined in the confidential memorandum.
No approval? Second.
Motion by Commissioner Long, second by Commissioner Gerard for agenda item 38.
And under reports, I have nothing.
Okay, that passes unanimously, and so we can move on to agenda item 40.
So this morning, I'd like to first announce and welcome Rodney Marion as our new Employee Relations and Workforce Director for the county. Rodney comes to us with a lot of experience working in HR and with employee issues. Obviously, our training and development issues that we've discussed with our employees and working with our departments to strengthen our workforce relations is very, very important. So want to welcome him to our team.
Welcome, Rodney.
Welcome
Thank you,
aboard.
thank you all. And I really look forward to working with the staff and being a part of the staff here. As Barry said, I've been in human resources for about 40 years now. I've worked for 3 municipalities, 2 counties, and a school district. So I hope to bring some of that experience to the Pinellas County and implement some really good contemporary programs.
Well, we're hoping to bring all of that experience.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Okay.
The other one is we have a public hearing that will be held on October 22nd. So we wanted to announce that regarding a proposed ordinance to the Pinellas County Code for the prohibition of equine riding within the aquatic preserves and providing for the prohibition of unpermitted seagrass damage within the aquatic preserves. So we're announcing that that hearing will be held on October the 22nd. That concludes my report.
Okay, very good. Agenda item 41, I don't believe there's any county commission new business items.
Quick question on, back to that number 40 real quick. Are we going to, I'm assuming that notification will be placed at the location of the,
We can certainly make sure that we're going to identify, well, we're going
I'd
to,
like to let them know that, you know.
well, we're going to notify the companies. So they will have direct knowledge.
Not all of them go through the companies. Not
That is
all.
true, but you're right. So we can certainly notice at the locations
Thank you.
also.
Okay, county commission reports. I'm going to start with Commissioner Justice.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Really, the main report to Homeless Leadership Board, we continue the process and preparation. The COC is separating, bifurcating into a COC as well as a nonprofit organization that will take effect in January. The organization papers are still kind of in the process there. That's really the only board meeting. As far as community, Commissioner Gerard and I had the pleasure of bringing welcoming remarks to the Rebuilding Tampa Bay Together organization, which was rehabbing 3 homes in the Lellman community, painting, upgrading, really just improving the quality of life for folks there. And then had the chance to participate in part of the Ken Welch Love Week at the PEMS Pacesetter Awards, where he was awarded for his community work there. And I'm sorry I missed it, but he was also want to congratulate for his award at the Urban League. So congratulations on your recognition, sir.
The Love Week, which ends with you putting me inspecting a solid waste tank.
And then
Somewhere.
the last thing is reminder that this Friday, October 11th, we will be having a farm share in Tarpon Springs at the St. Timothy Lutheran Church. Food distribution will be from 9 to 11, but staff will be there from 7:30 doing setup and all the hard work. So if you can make it, we'd love to see you.
Okay. Commissioner Peters, thank you for your leadership on that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Early Learning Coalition met. They kind of were off for a little while, but they're creating a legislative committee to be more communicative with the legislative delegation and the legislature in general. I also attended the FAC meeting in Panama City where they did a work project in Mexico Beach to establish some more priority policies. And also, it was a privilege to moderate a mental health forum in partnership with St. Petersburg College. Last week, we had Judge Leifman in, who's pretty much a one of the best experts on mental health and how to fix community issues around mental health. It was really well attended. They live streamed it, and that presentation is on the Institute's website. So it's the Institute of Strategic Policy under SPC, if anyone was interested in watching it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Welch.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Start off with a couple of homegoing services. First was Saturday for Dr. Paul McCrae, who is an outstanding physician in our community. He was the first African-American chief of staff at Bayfront Medical Center, also a member of Omega Psi Phi. So just a great man, a great family. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Donna, his wife, and his children. Leah McCrae, the St. Pete Director of Education, is his daughter. And yesterday I attended the homegoing for Jacquez Welch, who was a young man, the Northeast High team captain, who passed away, and just a great community outreach. And I was honored to present our proclamation of Jacquez Welch Day to the family, and they really send their thanks for that. But just at a time when we're so divided about a lot of things nationwide, just to see the community come together and support that family, I think was outstanding. Also want to thank First Baptist Congregation of Gandy Boulevard, because they've hosted a number of these very large homegoings over the years, even going back to the St. Pete police officers, and they do that on a regular basis. So I want to thank the First Baptist organization. Last Friday, the 27th, I toured AMI Kids, which was very interesting. The youth, they're all young men who've had some issues, but it was very impressive. They provided the tour, and so I want to thank AMI Kids for that tour and for the great work that they're doing. On the 25th of September, we had our second Complete Count Committee meeting, and I got to tell you, our staff just continues to knock the ball out of the park. We had Constance Hill from the U.S. Census Bureau at our meeting, and she was just giving rave reviews for our staff, what they're doing in terms of outreach, the website, communications. I told her she can't steal Corey and Josh, but she mentioned them, Corey Gray and Josh Boatwright, for their work. But we've got so many staff. Aurelis Escarella, did I get your last name? Okay. Brian Lowak and so many others who are doing great work. We're doing Spanish outreach. I'm really confident about Pinellas County being prepared for this census. So again, thanks to all our staff, our partners, our subcommittee chairs. We had about 40 people at the meeting at the epicenter. And I don't know, Commissioner Peters, it's like we were in Minneapolis, and now I also will be moderating a program next Tuesday in conjunction with the SPC, and also the Urban League, St. Pete Bar, NAACP, and the Urban League Young Professionals. This is focused on Amendment 4, and it'll be at the All-State Center, and we'll have a panel discussion with Mike Gelazio with PERC. They've changed their acronym, so it's not Pinellas Ex-Offender Re-Entry Coalition, it's something else right now. Maria Scruggs, president of the NAACP in St. Pete, Reverend J.C. Pritchett from the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance, and Andrew Warren, who's the Hillsborough County District 13 state attorney, and he's done something that I think is very innovative called a rocket docket to try to deal with the court's fines and fees issue as it relates to Amendment 4. So I'm looking forward to a very good conversation, community forum. It's next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. at St. Pete College All-State. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gerard.
Yeah, not much in the way of meetings, but I also wanted to congratulate Commissioner Welch on his several awards.
Thank you. You don't have an assignment for me to inspect anything, right?
No.
Thank you.
No, but you can take over career source next time. I'm just kidding. And
I will second that motion.
let's see, I went to the Mayor's Council, and we had a presentation from Whit Blanton on the transportation issue, which was very well received. Nothing going on in Career Source, other than that they had a computer virus.
They had some what?
They had a computer, well, it was an attack, really. It wasn't a virus. It was somebody obviously deliberately got both them and Hillsborough. So they were out of commission for like 3 days. Yeah. And Commissioner Peters, I just wanted to say I heard great things about the Mental Health Forum, and looking forward to seeing that information. So. That's it for me.
Okay.
Oh, go Rays.
Yes, very good. Commissioner Eggers.
Yeah, and I think they got moved to tonight because of some game yesterday, so we'll get a chance to maybe watch it. In any event, just a couple things. First of all, Forward Pinellas, we meet tomorrow, and among many things that we'll be talking about in 2.5 hours, maybe at most. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
have
see.
you seen the agenda?
Yeah, it's pretty loaded tomorrow, but just be understanding. It is, we're going to be discussing the I-275 next PD&E study. I think that'll be a really good conversation, and a lot of concerns, a lot of excitement about it, but some concerns as well. So we'll dive into that tomorrow. The Drew Street Complete Streets discussion will be ongoing. I had the opportunity to walk that street about, it was probably a couple miles worth, and wow, what a scary street. It's a scary street to drive, but when you walk it, it's really scary. Not only do you feel the wind blow by you as you walk on the sidewalk, sometimes the sidewalk just stops and then you're stuck. Sometimes it's the PSTA bus stop is right in this dirt area that's really rough terrain, so it's hard for anybody to get to it, much less any handicapped folks. So we've got poles in the middle of sidewalks so that you have a 2 foot to get around. So it's going to be, I think there's an awful lot we need to do to that, but we'll have that conversation tomorrow as well. And then we'll get into some legislative priorities. PSTA doesn't meet till later. My VA community, the CVB that I sit on, or CVEB that I sit on, doesn't meet until the end of the month. Tampa Bay Water meets next week, 2 weeks, from Monday. TMA, our next meeting is November 8th. CGIS later in the month as well. We did have our Pinellas School Collaborative meeting, and we talked among many things, the hazardous walking conditions, Pinellas School mental health services, travel and transportation safety concerns, and school bus safety. Actually, it was a really good conversation, and we had Jennifer Lottie from Pinellas County Behavioral Group from the school system talk about their mental health program and what they're doing this year to augment the efforts. It kind of talks about expanding awareness for the students, increasing access to student services, strengthening community partnerships, day treatment, getting them away from the school campus to get treatment, and refining the threat assessments on campus. So all of it going on. I think they had a $2.2 million dollar amount to that, and but it was just a really good conversation, and she continues to be a part of our Pinellas County Behavioral Health Systems of Care meeting every month. So the school people are there at that meeting. The VA people have finally started coming to that meeting. So regardless of whether a lot gets done there or not, I think a lot more is getting done, and a lot of partners are at the table now, at least sharing what they're doing with others in the same arena. So I thought it was a really good session. And then I just really wanted to say thank you for mentioning the Farm Share program event this Friday. I think we touched on the sound abatement task force as it relates to the change that's going to be happening there. There was a lot of concern from the Feather Sound folks. And they're going to continue to do what they can to move the traffic away from there as quickly as possible, but it's going to be an issue. So I hope that the communication is with that area, with that community, is done well. The Eliza Nelson elementary school grand opening was on Saturday. It was just packed. A lot of families went through a real depressed time when they closed the school, and then obviously now that it's being opened again as a new school and in her name. The program was great. The family was there. I'm very appreciative of all that the community had done to rally around the name change in the school board and the county commission and all of that. So it was a really good session. I just wanted you all to be aware of that. And then just one final comment on the Whispering Souls, which is an African-American cemetery over off of Sunset Point. Continue to do work there. They're trying to establish the ownership. It's really convoluted, so they're trying to do that. They've done their first round of radar penetrating to find a multitude of grave sites there. So they've been spending a lot of time cleaning up the area, cleaning up the grounds, and now they're working closely with the same organization that's doing the Zion Cemetery over in Tampa. So they're getting more attention. They're getting more. They're going to bring a 6-foot radar penetrating item to find out if there's more deeper, and also to expand it and see if there are more beyond the 1 acre of land that is there. So I think it's absolutely just so sad that some of these cemeteries just kind of got ignored, built over, whatever, over the years, and really, really happy and proud of the effort of the folks there in the Safety Harbor area for trying to do what's right and recognize this cemetery. So a lot of work still to come, and I told them that we at the county stand ready to assist them. Just keep us apprised of what was going on, and that they'll kind of let us know as the year goes by. So that's all I had. Thank you.
Commissioner Long?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to remind everyone that our cybersecurity workshop is on October 31st for our Business and Technology Services Committee. And one of the things I'm so proud of, has to do with the Tampa Bay Regional Transit Authority. You may remember last year when we came time for our budget, to pass our budget, we had something like $2.37 in our account. And today, we have over 7.5 million. So it just goes to show you that when you really understand all those buckets of funding and what goes where and how you can spend what, and the leverage that you can get from utilizing those dollars, you can really, really do some magnificent things. And so we are on the cusp of changing our region when it comes to our discussion with transportation and transit, and it couldn't be a more exciting time for T-BARTA. We also, our next board meeting is going to be on Friday, October 25th, and you'll be hearing about some new committee assignments that the chair wants to make. We have an Envision 2030 board workshop on November 15th at 12:30, and it's going to be at Tampa International Airport. That should be very, very exciting. And I guess if I left out anything, Commissioner Seal will fill it in, I'm sure, as it relates to that. The Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority budget meeting that we had on September 25th was, we passed our budget, and we saw a presentation on the community sentiment survey with 95% of non-regular riders that responded saying they saw value in the services that we provide, and 41% of residents had ridden on one of our transportation options. We approved the contract for the transit-oriented development study along Central Avenue that's being funded by the FTA with no in-kind match from the city of St. Pete and/or Forward Pinellas. And we are working with partners in other cities along the corridor to look at land use policy and codes that enhance connections to transit. I also want to just publicly acknowledge Jeffrey Underhill, who is PSTA's Florida's Technician of the Year. We were all so really proud of him. And as Commissioner Eggers talked about, we have our Forward Pinellas meeting tomorrow. And the Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council is knee-deep in planning for our first annual summit on January 7th and 8th. I'm terribly excited about that because we have an international component, given the visit that we had from Henk Ovink, who is the water czar for the United Kingdom of the Netherlands, and we're hoping to be bringing back some other international partners from our trip to Amsterdam, because we've also had interest expressed from the country of Germany on our climate compact, which I found very interesting. Last week, I had the opportunity to have a coffee chat with the St. Pete Chamber Public Policy Council, and we talked again about sea level rise, climate resiliency, and transportation. We also attended the Energy and Climate Summit last week with our Agriculture Commissioner, Nikki Freed. It was incredibly well attended, and our very own Hank Hody was there in attendance. And I also had a very interesting tour with our county administrator last Wednesday of the new campus of this fabulous new expansion in Pinellas County of one of our manufacturers, Jabil. And that was really, really interesting, and we learned a lot about things that are going on here in the county that you wouldn't even begin to believe. It was so interesting to learn about how big they are globally. It's not just about Pinellas, it's just a huge, huge global company, and we talked a lot about some of their challenges around the world. And to that point, I know several of you already went to a ribbon cutting at Beckwith Electric, but I had the opportunity to make up for the fact that I wasn't there the first time, and it's pretty exciting because they also are a worldwide global company. And to hear about their expansion and their growth, it's almost overwhelming when you listen to them talk about how many employees they have, and how they want to double what they have right now, and they have poured several millions of dollars into new equipment just to keep up with the demand. So it just is interesting to know we have that kind of thing going on when we talk about our economy. But in both places, transportation is always at the top of the list when it comes to what are we doing, how are we improving, and so on and so forth. I also want to add my congratulations, Commissioner Welch, even though we tease you all the time, for your awards that you received over the last 2 weeks, both at PEMS and at the Urban League. It certainly is a true testament to your leadership and your calm and easygoing demeanor, most of the time. And I apologize, I'm not going to be able to join you at our farm fair on Friday because I will be over at MacDill Air Force Base learning about and hearing about the concerns that they have on climate change and sea level rise. They have a representative that always attends our resiliency and sustainability meeting at the Regional Planning Council, and they have deep concerns, and it's very rewarding to have them be one of our partners on the compact because they are a very significant piece of our economy and we can't afford to lose them. So I'll be sure to bring you back a report at our next meeting, and that, Madam Chair, is the end of my report.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Just one final piece, or two pieces to the TBARTA. One was, even though Commissioner Long and I were present, there was not quorum to pass the budget.
Correct.
So,
Wow.
Big problem.
it was, yes.
Yeah.
But they, the staffs did figure it out, and then we had a regional transportation disadvantaged service presentation. And then I am meeting this afternoon with Beth Houghton, the new executive director for JWB, and I also just decided to join the finance committee for JWB. So I will be embarking on that in November. And with that, also warmest congratulations, Commissioner Welch.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And thank you all. We actually finished up sooner than I thought we were going to for the meeting, but have a good rest of the week.
Thank you.